Hello, welcome back. I just finished watching Dragon Ball GT episode 43, and I have a lot to say because I made some mistakes and last episode was cut short. So, first things first, all of you will be happy to know I did recover from my sudden onset bout of hiccups. I needed to take a break, but I'm back now. Second of all, last episode, I made a huge, inexcusable mistake that I need to set straight right now. I kept calling Android 17 Android 18. Or at least, I am pretty sure I did at least once. So I need to set the record straight that it's Android 17 who's turned evil. I did not mean to besmirch the good name of Android 18. It was a major mistake on my part. So Android 17 is the one who Dr. Gero has built an evil version of and has turned evil because of what Dr. Gero and Dr. Mu have made. So he's the villain of this. Well, not the villain, but he's the one who is the antagonist of this arc. That's Android 17. Huge mistake on my part, huge oversight. I frankly, I'm probably, like, people, I can understand if you're disappointed in me. I ask for forgiveness. I'm sorry. I'm only human. But yeah, that's not something I realized until after the recording. So I really so anyway, I'll say what happens in this episode and then I'll give my thoughts. So basically what happens in this episode, it's a whole lot of fighting. Goku fights Cell and Frieza and he wins, but then, like, because Cell and Frieza are already dead, they just come back and they continue fighting. And back on the surface, Gohan fights General Rild, which I guess Rild died. We never really got any confirmation on what exactly happened to Rild, but he has died. So Gohan fights Rild. Vegeta kills Nappa a second time. I wish we got a bit more interaction with them. But then, Gero and Mu show up and Vegeta begins fighting the version, like the Super Hellfighter Android 17. They begin fighting. And then, did I mention this? I don't know if I mentioned this. Cell and Frieza use a new technique they discovered in order to send Goku into the hell of hell. And Goku endures all these pains, and then he gets frozen, and that's our cliffhanger. Goku's frozen. Oh, well, actually, a bit more. The other 17, this is really confusing to describe, I realize. The other 17 goes to Android 18, and he's like, join me, and his eyes turn red, and then her eyes turn red. So I don't know. We're going to have some conflict here, folks. We're going to have some conflict. So, now that I'm done with the summary, which, as you might have noticed, was maybe a bit, quite a bit shorter than last episode's summary, I'll get on to my thoughts. So, as you all know, I felt that last episode was very, very extremely rushed. It was like, with little explanation. I was very like, how is this even happening? How did they do this? Why did this feel so rushed? And this episode felt more, it didn't feel rushed like the last one, basically. This one felt like it was going at its own pace. It didn't feel like they were just rushing through things. There was a bit of progress, but, not too much. And I think that I'm wondering, this is me wondering, like, metatextually now, I don't know, or just more outside of the show itself, because I'm wondering why they wanted to rush into the main thrust of the arc so quickly. Because now things, like, at least within the 2 episodes I've observed of this arc so far, it definitely feels like things are beginning to slow down, if that makes sense. And I'm wondering, because we really, in the grand scheme of things, we don't have a lot of GT left to go. Because there's like, I mean, we're still relatively like at the beginning of the second half, but because if this were any other Dragon Ball show, they could take their time, because like every other Dragon Ball show has like well over 100 episodes. GT only has 64 episodes, and I know we have the rest of this arc, as well as the like another arc with the dragons after this. And I'm wondering if like the reason they rushed into this so quickly is because like maybe they knew that they didn't have a ton of time to do this, if that makes sense. That's like the only reason I can think of as to why they would rush right into this, like, because everything happened so quickly in the last episode, and now things are beginning to slow down. They've gone back to more of a normal pace. I am wondering if this is the point where things sort of got like, okay, we have a limited amount of time left. We want to tell these stories, and we got to do it because this is what we have planned out, or whatever they were doing. I don't know. I can only guess as to what the behind the scenes were to this. And as I get farther away from the baby arc, the more and more I begin to appreciate it. I know I wasn't all that crazy about it, but I in retrospect, I think I did get in a lot of enjoyment out of the baby arc. I think I would have enjoyed a lot more if I just watched through, as opposed to stopping after every single episode and recording my thoughts. But the reason I did this in the first place, because last video I said that I felt like doing these reviews after each episode was really impeding my enjoyment of Dragon Ball GT. And the whole reason I did this in the first place was because I didn't want to just rush through the series. Because I had recently I had just recently, at the time I decided to do this, I had basically binged through the final 4 seasons of Adventure Time, because I had never finished the show, and so I wanted to finish it, and so I just binged through those 4 seasons, and I really felt kind of sad that I just rushed through them as opposed to maybe taking a bit more time with them. And so when it came time to do Dragon Ball GT, I'm like, we're not going to have a new Dragon Ball show for a while. Like, I can't envision one coming up anytime soon. And so I really wanted to take a bit more time with it, take a bit, like, not just rush through it. But now I'm starting to feel like I might have enjoyed it more if I did just go episode after episode after episode and just binge through it in a way. But, you know, it is what it is. And by the time I began to think that, I was already over halfway through. So, you know, I am not quitting. I am not quitting. I'm at episode 43 out of 64. I am not quitting now that I'm this far into the show. I cannot give up. I need to keep going and see this through, because I've recorded, like, at this point I've recorded hours and hours of just audio of myself giving my thoughts on this show. But yeah, I apologize if you went into this expecting more analysis of this specific episode as opposed to a retrospective on these own series of reviews. But I'm giving my thoughts as they come to me of the series and where I am, because as much as I say this is a review series, I feel like it's much more of maybe log entries into how I feel after watching each episode. And if you want to see, if you're either someone who's never watched GT, or maybe you're a big fan of GT and want to vicariously feel what it's like to go through the series for the first time again through the shoes of someone else, then I think this series of videos is good for you. I mean, I don't know why you would be if you watched this far into the video series, you're probably pretty committed to my videos as well. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is the very first video of mine you've watched. I have no idea of telling. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm thinking. I guess I'm thinking that next episode there's going to be some conflict with. Now I'm switching back to analysis here, folks. I'm trying to predict where this is going to go. Because obviously I don't think this arc can be very long. Because we got the Black Star Dragon, not the Black Star Dragon Balls. You know what's coming up. The corrupted dragons with the dragon and all that. I know that's coming up at some point. I'm gonna try and predict where stuff goes from here. Because obviously I know the basic, I know the premise of each of the arcs, but I don't know exactly the details of what happens or how long they go on for. I've said this before. So in regards to this arc, I can't imagine this being a very long arc just because they rushed into it so quickly. I'm thinking there's going to be some conflicts because 17 is going to try and get 18 to join him. But I don't know if she will. There's probably going to be some resistance and conflict because she has a family now. I think Goku's obviously going to get out of the frozen thing somehow, and I don't know if he's going to get back to Earth next episode. Maybe the episode after next episode, he'll find a way to get back. I think that Android 17, the two Android 17s are going to fuse together next episode. I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen next episode, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. I think, at the pace they're going, they really can't hold it off for much longer. I think that I'm trying to decide, because I know Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 4 at some point. I'm thinking that he's going to go Super Saiyan 4 at some point during this arc. Because because they know that there are a ton of Vegeta fans, and they know that, Vegeta can't fall too far behind Goku, you know what I mean? So I'd be surprised if they hold off Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta for more than an arc, because this is the next arc after Baby, so I'm thinking we might be seeing Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta sometime soon. I don't think it's going to be next episode. I think the big transformation of next episode is probably going to be Super Android 17. That's going to come either next episode or maybe even the episode after next one if they decide to fill out the entire conflict of, 17 versus 18 in next episode maybe, or something like that. But that's all I got for now. Am I enjoying this arc? That's a big question, actually. I guess that's not all I got for now, because I gotta think about this. I'm casually observing it. I'm not. I know I've been negative towards the arc. I know it's just very bizarre, the way they decided to have it start off, and it's an arc that's very difficult for me to get invested in. I'll put it that way, because usually a Dragon Ball arc, even if they're not super long, they take their time, and you can really get invested in episode after episode. And this one, they just throw you into it. It's paced much more like a movie. At least I felt. At least the first episode is paced much more like a Dragon Ball movie. And so I felt that it makes it very difficult for me to get invested in what's happening, just because of how fast we were thrown into it and how little explanation it's all had. And so I'm just sort of along for the ride, I guess, and I'm not I don't hate it or anything. I find it it's fine way to pass the time, I suppose. I like this episode better than the last one. It went by a lot quicker. And so I don't want to use the word like I don't want to say I like it, but I don't want to say I dislike it. I don't have a very strong emotion towards it either way. It's just sort of like I'm just consuming it without much thought, you know what I mean? But I guess I want to get invested, but I don't think I'm going to get invested in this arc like I did with the baby arc. Sadly, just based on how it started and where we are at the moment. Normally I wouldn't say that only 2 episodes into an arc, but like they threw us in. It's just like they threw us in. Like we're in the middle of it right now, I feel, or starting to get in the middle of it. If it were a normal arc paced normally, but it's not. So that's all I got for now. If you enjoyed this review or my thoughts, then feel free to check out my backlog of other Dragon Ball GT videos. I'm going through the entire series, watching it through for the very first time, episode by episode, doing a video on each one. What else do I usually say at the end of these? Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and have a lovely day.